What's going on, my pretty pandas? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to today's Tea Talk, where we don't have much by way of, there's not that much tea spillage, and I'm kind of shook right now with this, honey, I'm shook. But today we actually have two really awesome articles that I found that I think you guys would rather enjoy, those who are graphic card whores like myself, and those of you who are interested in some PlayStation news. I got you covered, boo. So first today, let me get my article out because I didn't have prepared notes for today. I just always like to print out the articles now because I find it a lot easier to get stuff done, and plus highlighting, hello, it's my jam. So today's first topic that we're talking about is the iv'e Media's Live Gamer 4K capture card that breaks the 2160p 60 HDR barrier. That's a mouthful, honey. So we all know that there is a very high demand for gaming content lately, considering the fact that we have Twitch, we have YouTube, we have Mixer, we have so many platforms that allow for us to stream gaming content. And what better way to express our gaming freedom than to come up with so many new graphic cards that are available for purchase at extremely high prices that will not only break our bank account, but will break our lives and our souls. It states here in the article that the Live Gamer 4K is a $300 PCLE capture card that is compatible of recording video over HDMI at 2160p. I'm shook. That is similar to the $400 Elgato 4K 60 Pro, which is one that I want to get my hands on when I get to PewDiePie status. And like that competing device, the Live Gamer 4K requires a beefy PC with a recent graphics card to work, but unlike Elgato, the Live Gamer 4K can also record content in HDR. Good plus. iv'e Media has also introduced the ultra high frame rate option, so you can do it at 1440p at 144 FPS or at 1080p at 240 FPS, which is great because not a lot of higher end capture cards like to say that, oh, we delve into the lower end of the capture rate. While this capture card is humble enough to say, hey, if you still want to record in 1080p, you still can. Which, I mean, if you have a good processor, I don't know why you would need a very high capture card, because the processor is really everything. But that's just me. I think it's like Apple, where they want to be able to drain you for every little penny. My capture card that I use is the Elgato one that is about $150. You can still get it on the website. The Live Gamer Ultra, meanwhile, is iv'e Media's 250 external USB capture card. It uses a USB 3.1 Type-C port to capture up to 2160p, 1440p 60, or 1080p 120 without having to install anything inside your desktop, which is good. I like the fact that it can be multifaceted. I like the fact that it has a lot of wiggle room, to say the least. It does not support HDR, but it also doesn't require the best graphics card to work, since it processes much of the video itself before sending it to your CPU, which is actually a great benefit. I know a lot of capture cards don't do that, but for me, I feel like the Tati Westbrook of the gaming community, because I'm always bringing to you guys the realness of the situation. The realness is, you do not need a $400 gaming capture card to do a job that a $150 capture card will do from Elgato. It's crazy to me to think that companies are getting so much money for capture cards that are made every single day, like every minute of every second. Well, not that dramatic, but you guys know me, I'm a little bit dramatic. A lot of the time there are so many capture cards made all the time with not that many adjustments made to them, if you get my drift. Like, every single capture card has the exact same properties. It captures what you're recording and sends it straight to your PC. That way you can edit it or put it on your Xbox Community Center, whatever you want to do with the footage. There's not that many changes that are made to the devices themselves, unless you are going from a jump of like 1080 to 4K in the capabilities, which is a big jump in itself. You don't really need that much in order to have good graphics. It's a little bit expensive if you've never delved into this side of the gaming pool before, but if you're just an average gamer who wants to capture their footage and put it out on the internet, you just need the Elgato, or you need something that is a little less on the price range. From my experience, I don't really delve into the higher end stuff because number one, I can't afford it, and number two, you don't really, like I said, you don't really need the higher end stuff to get the job done. Which, that's all my opinion. I mean, I'm not gonna say no to a $400 capture card whenever I have the funds to do so, but then again, it's not necessary. Now, it makes a very good point in this article where it states, if you were deciding between the Elgato or the iv'e 4K 60 options, I think the Live Gamer 4K is your best bet because it's $100 less and gives you that HDR option if you need it. I don't think I prefer Elgato 4K capture software over RE Central 4, but neither are great. I also think that the high bit rates, the Elgato might play nicer with OBS and XSplit, but that's one of the areas where I think more testing is necessary, which the person's right. Whoever wrote this article, I agree 100% with you. The Elgato 4K I have not experienced yet. I've seen test demos of it on YouTube through other gameplays like God of War, all that kind of stuff. And it looks great. The 4K on it looks absolutely wonderful. I still think that, you know, 720 or 1080 is just fine for YouTube. A lot of people's internet connections can't really handle 4K because you gotta understand that if, like, let's say you know, teenagers in their room watching YouTube, unless their parents, you know, got the dough to spend, they're not gonna upgrade to 4K viewing time from their browser device. So it comes to a point of where it's more of that bougie extra. Do you want that, or is it more of a necessity where you only need 720p, 1080p? Do you really need 4K? We could go in all day on this kind of debate, but for me personally, I'm good with 720 and 1080p. But yeah, I like this article. It was a really good read. If you guys want more info on the iv'e Live Gamer 4K capture device, I will put a link to where you can purchase that down in the description below, or at least check out the specs of it. Hashtag not sponsored. So next up, we are going to talk about Sony. There's a crossplay situation going on, and I hope you guys can give me some clarity on this because I don't know that much about PS4, not as well versed because I own an Xbox One, which rules all. So it states here in the article that following the recent release of Fortnite on Nintendo Switch, Sony's hardline stance on crossplay has once again become a point of intention. I don't know why I just said it like that. The publisher has come under fire for effectively blocking players from using the Fortnite accounts linked to the PS4 and other platforms, but a recent statement by the company offers a bit of hope that it may reverse course. Now, I don't know about you guys, the cross-play, I'm gonna call it a theory right now because that's what it basically is, a very overpromised theory of kind of like any gamer's hopes and wishes that everything can kind of be unified under one platform. And the thing is with that is that it'll become very competitive, I feel, because if you have a crossplay between where you can play all the games that are on PlayStation from an Xbox and vice versa, you're gonna get companies suing one another left and right. So let's say, for example, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, it's available only on PlayStation, it's not available on Xbox. So that would allow for a lot of copyright things that go on where if somebody publishes their playthrough of Amnesia: The Dark Descent on Xbox, then the owner would have to pop up and say, well, why did you not tell us that our game was on Xbox One, Xbox X, whichever Xbox it is. I feel like it could get in a very dirty situation, and I feel like not a lot of developers of their own games, whether it be big or small, I feel like the bigger like AAA titles will get notified, like Outlast or Resident Evil, that they're going to be cross-platforming and everything like that. But smaller developers, like let's say Doki Doki Literature Club, let's say that, for example, gets onto Xbox and not on PlayStation, or it gets onto both, you're going to have a very heated debate on should it be multi-platformed or should it just stay on either as an online game, which it's not technically an online game. I don't know why people say it's an online game because you're downloading it. It's not something where you go into an online chat room or an online room and you're playing with other people. You know, Overwatch is an online game, but not Doki Doki Literature Club, which is strange. I don't know why. Let me know what you think about that also in the comments below. But that is the gaming news for today. I know it was very kind of like short, sweet, and to the point, but were the two major stories that I found that I really, really wanted to just... And there was no YouTube news for today, but there was actually something I wanted to tell you guys that I found out personally, and I thought it was actually pretty cool. That on the 4th of July, hope you guys had a happy 4th of July to those of you who celebrate it, I found out that I am a daughter of the revolution, dating on my grandmother's, dating back to on my grandmother's side, on my mom's side of the family, that I'm the daughter of the revolution, and I am also the 8th generation Irish here I know I don't look it, but I am. Because on my mom's side of the family, I'm Irish and Scottish. But on my dad's side, I am Israeli. I am Spanish. I'm French, and I'm Egyptian. And that's my heritage right there. But not only did I find out I was a daughter of the revolution, I also found out that I have royal blood in my dad's background because I am related to Maimonides. And if you guys don't know who Maimonides is, he is an Israeli philosopher back at, what, the 1400s? I'm not even sure. Let me check. No, it wasn't the 1400s. I'm looking right now, and it was during the, wow, the 1100s. So he was part of the, he was born 20th of March or April 4th. They don't know what day apparently. Of 1138. Okay. So it was during medieval times, and he was part of the royal court. He was the philosopher for the royal court at the time, and it was really interesting for me to hear that background, especially on the 4th of July, because normally it's like, oh, there's just America vibes all over the place whenever it's July the 4th. Oh my goodness. But it's really cool to see my heritage and see my background, and to see not only am I a daughter of the revolution, but I kind of have royal blood being related to Maimonides, which is kind of cool. Actually, it's not just kind of cool, it's frick-fackety awesome. So yeah, that makes me happy. But yeah, there's all sorts of like poets on my mom's side from Ireland that I'm related to, and there's actually a place called Waverly Sanatorium, and it's one of the most haunted places in America, and two of my relatives from back in the way back were there because of tuberculosis and that whole outbreak that happened. So it was really interesting to get to hear a lot of my family background, and there's a lot of stuff with my dad that I thought was really interesting. He told me this story before, but he went more in depth into how he was a child whenever World War II happened, and his family and him escaped on the potato boats. That way he wouldn't have to go into Auschwitz. So yeah, my dad was born during the time of when everything happened during World War II with Adolf Hitler, and it was just really interesting to hear about. If you guys have any questions about it, please feel free to leave comments down in the comment section below, because I would love to know what you guys think. And I just thought it was really cool to hear my heritage and hear where I came up from, because my mom's family is so Irish, yet my dad's family, like, he comes from, Israel, and he is just the epitome of awesome. There's another bit of awesome that I wanted to insert into today's tea talk. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with this. I'm very hopeful that it's going to become a thing, but I am starting to put together a small book of poetry that I am writing. So probably next year this is going to be published, but I am currently in the process of publishing a small book of poetry. I don't know what I'm going to title it yet, but I'm making moves. I'm making money moves. But yeah, I'm in the process of creating a book of poetry. I'm actually really excited about it. I haven't written a lot of poetry in a while. I usually write stuff and then throw it away because, I don't think it sounds good at all. But yeah, I posted some stuff of my poetry that was just spur of the moment. I just wrote it on Twitter and kind of put it into the ether, and people were like, you should do a book of poetry. And I was like, doesn't sound like a half bad idea. So yeah, I'm in the works right now of getting together a book of poetry to be published for next year, which, like I said, I still have to figure out a title and all that fun stuff. So that'll be interesting to see come to fruition. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you guys are too. And for our last part of today's tea talk, it is our Korean word of the day, and our Korean word of the day is sikdang, which means restaurant. So if you want to go into a restaurant, you can go into a sikdang. Here's the Hangul for it, and here's the English translation, which actually I should probably move over because my mic from Hangul, English. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. It is beautiful outside. It is hot as balls. This is hot. It's really hot. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below, because I make videos every weekday. Stay casually nerdy, you guys, and I will see you all on Monday's video. Peace. It states here that following in the recent release of Fortnite, the Nintendo Switch... Can't talk today. What's going on, honey? Hi. Annyeong. Nice to see you. Oh, I can't do that without doing everything. I can't close the door. Not the door, the window. The other door. It's so hot in here. I can't be bothered to shut off the fan and close the window, and my cat's sleeping under my bed. What a life. So what we do have today are 2 articles that I found that look really good. Why is my I can't do life today. Oh, I'm so happy that wasn't my coffee that I dropped. That would have been bad. Oh my god. Okay. I'm fine, I promise.